This is Pat Soundbites Unplugged. Unplugged. The podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
This is Pat Soundbites Unplugged podcast. I am your host, Pat Calamari. If you're new to the podcast, thanks for climbing on board for the ride. If you are a subscriber, well, I can't thank you enough, and I encourage everyone to subscribe. Episode number 113 is a good one. Frontman, lead singer, well, he co-formed a band. He wrote a lot of the songs. I'm talking Mike Reno of Loverboy. The Canadian Music Hall of Fame group celebrates their 40th anniversary of their self-titled album, which is 5-time platinum certified. You know the hits. The Kid Is Hot Tonight, Turn Me Loose, Little Girl, and then we get into their album Get Lucky in 1981, Working for the Weekend, When It's Over, The Lucky One, and just keeps going on and on. Had a great chat with Mike, who called in from his home in British Columbia. We talked about the longevity of the band. We talked about some of the tracks. We talked about touring. We talked about the killer hit, Almost Paradise, with the duet with Hart and Wilson, how that all came about in the movie Footloose. We talked about tours. We talked about his vocals. A really cool conversation. So sit back and enjoy the chat with Loverboy's Mike Reno. And as always, live, love, and laugh a lot, because life is just way too short. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody. This is Mike Reno, and you're listening to Pat Soundbite Unplugged.
WBXO Classic Rock Redefined in conjunction with Pat Soundbites Unplugged podcast. A special honor today. What a magnificent rocker. Been looking forward to this all week. Talking about the great band Loverboy celebrating their 40th and 40 years, holy crap, of their 5-time platinum certified self-titled debut album. And I am blessed today to have the lead vocalist, Mr. Mike Reno, calling in from British Columbia. How are you, Mike?
You know, Pat, I'm really great. I can't get over the 40-year thing either. I can't be 40 years. Come on.
I mean, 40 years. I remember when I got that album. I remember I've seen you and the band at least 10 times. The last time you were actually here locally at the Dutchess County Fair, touring with Night Ranger back in August 21st of 2013, and we hope to see you back again once this whole COVID thing goes away. But oh my God, Mike, first of all, thank you for your time today. How are you and your family doing in Canada dealing with this COVID? Is everybody okay?
Well, it's completely strange, weird, Twilight Zone-like stuff that's happening, but we're healthy. We're just kind of getting a little kind of boxed in, you know what I mean? I'm usually traveling all year long, and I haven't gone anywhere for 10 months, 11 months actually. Our last show was February 29th. Which was a leap year last year, in Las Vegas. We got home on the 1st of March, and shortly thereafter they shut the borders down. So it's just insane.
Yeah, it's same for me. I mean, my last show, February 15th, and it's just... it's a killer being in this lockdown, and I am, oh my God, am I missing live music. But first of all, congratulations, 40 years. What an accomplishment. What a milestone. Mike, let me ask you, what's the secret of the longevity behind Loverboy? You, Paul, Matt, and Doug, and obviously there's the sad, tragic loss of Scott, but I mean, there's still, the big core is still together, sounding better than ever. I mean, God bless you guys. What's the, is there a secret of this longevity with this great band?
Well, first off, we took a lot of time putting this band together. Paul and I, we really searched for all the right guys. And we took our time, and I'm glad we did it because now it's paying off. These guys are like family to me, and the musicianship is high quality. These guys are fabulous. I feel honored to be able to play with these guys as a singer. And it's just tight. I mean, we respect the songs. We like to play the songs just like they were recorded, and we like to produce everything just the way it should be, and this band loves to do it that way. So that's an awesome experience for sure.
I mean, your songs, starting with the debut album, all the way, I mean, to I think your last album, Unfinished Business, I mean, your tracks, I mean, anywhere you go, people know Loverboy, they know your tracks, and I want to tell my listeners and Loverboy fans out there to commemorate this special milestone. The group has released a special limited edition vinyl of the legendary rock classic today via Sony Music Entertainment. You can go to Amazon, and I'm sure you can go to Loverboyband.com. It is out there. By all means, please go out and check that out and buy that. I mean, the kid is hot tonight. Turn Me Loose. I mean, the minute Doug hits that keyboard and then the bass kicks in, I mean, oh my goodness, Mike. I've been, like I said, looking forward to this chat. Talk to me about the songwriting process, Mike. You and Paul, somebody writes the music, somebody writes the lyrics. How does that all, how does that process work with you guys?
It's kind of funny. Whoever comes with the song, it's usually a start. And what happens is Paul and I, we finish it. And then the band kind of gives it the whole Loverboy feel. Like as soon as you hear our drummer, I mean, you know exactly who's playing. And it's the same with all the instruments in the band. We have developed a style and we stick with it. A lot of times I'll come up with an idea and I'll take it to Paul, and Paul will say, "That's great, let's do something with it." I remember for Turn Me Loose, I played the bass line on Turn Me Loose on my bass guitar, and I wouldn't ever go live with a bass guitar playing, but I can play. And I played it for so many times in a row. He said, "If you play that one more time, I'm going to kill you." I said, this could be a song. And finally, I said, "Why don't you throw some guitar to it? Let's get with it here." And he did. And the next thing you know, we started putting it together, putting the lyrics together, and then, I mean, that's a historic Loverboy song. I mean, this is the killer stuff, and it was one of the first songs we wrote.
It's crazy. You go to YouTube and there's like almost 18, 20 million views. I mean, it's not crazy. It is. I get it. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less. 20 million views. I mean, like I said, the minute you hear those first notes, you know what it's about. But the band, like I said, the last time I saw you guys was in 2013. You guys sound better than ever. You're really survivors. I mean, there was that, where the whole grunge and disco and this and that. And I know you're artists and you're still creating and you're always, I'm sure, writing songs. And the folks can go to Loverboyband.com and can constantly check to see what you guys are doing. But it's nonstop. I mean, you guys are survivors. And 80s music just seems to still be out there, and thank God for that. What's your thoughts behind that, Mike?
Well, we love playing live. I think more than anything, we're a live band. We go in the studio and cut records, but that seems like a lot of work. To me, Paul loves it. The rest of us kind of go in and we do it, but we'd rather be playing live. We get energy off the crowd. We pick the crowd up. The crowd picks us up. We just kind of stampede right through the whole 2-hour set, and it's just a lot of fun, as you know, because you've seen this before. I think we played 14 songs in a row, and that we did videos for every one of those songs. I mean, and that helped a lot too, because MTV started out. We gave them 3 videos the first week they opened.
Wow,
so that's like wow.
I mean, is there any better feeling that, the minute you guys get on stage, the fans like myself, we know pretty much every song and sing it back to you as a songwriter. There can't be any better feeling. Did you ever think of, when you guys started out, I want to say, looking at my notes in Calgary, that, guys in Calgary got it together and, you look back and go, this has been an amazing run.
Oh God, it's just been an amazing. I can't even put words to it. It's been my whole life. We've made a lot of friends out there too along the way. Every town we go to, we have quite an extensive guest list because we've got all these friends that we developed over the years. The crowd can't wait. We can't wait. We're kind of chomping at the bit. And you know something, Pat? I still get very nervous before the show, almost to the point where I feel like throwing up. And I don't know why that happens, but as soon as the lights come on and the band starts, it all disappears, and it just becomes a pleasure.
I mean, 1980, the debut album, 81, Get Lucky, 83, Keep It Up, 85, loving every minute of it. And I want to say it's all based Columbia Records. Was there did they put you, I mean, I've always, when I interview artists back in the day, it's like, all right, you had that hit, now get back in there and do it again. Were you guys under any stress with that? I mean, and you guys just kept on putting all the products out there and making hit after hit after hit. Was there a lot of stress back then for you guys to satisfy the label at all?
There's always stress when you're dealing with the record label because half the guys in the record label don't know what they're talking about. Half the people think they don't want the song, they don't want this song, they don't want that song, and we were always just firm. We just stood by our guns and we said, "Here's the record, and this is how it goes. This is how it should align. This song, this song, this song." And very rarely, but the pressure is there because if you sell millions of records right out of the box, everybody, including ourselves, expects us to continue that on. And it's not always easy to do that. But we started writing songs when we were on tour. When we came back from the first tour and the first record, we were in the studio 3 days after we got home. So we were like road warriors, we were on top of our game. We recorded that second album. It was almost like we were still on tour. And I think you can feel the energy in it, right?
Oh my God, yes. I mean, working for the weekend when it's over, lucky one. I mean, it was just a continuation and, I mean, nonstop and keep going and keep going. I was just always interested. I mean, I would say to some of the people, well, you signed, with Columbia or Capitol or somebody. But then, they would say, well, yeah. And we had that hit. And then if you don't make that hit the second time or the third time, before you know it, you're part of the flock. And you're, one of my friends, an artist, said to me recently, you got to look at it this way, Pat. It's like a bank. They loan you the money, and then they want their money back. And then they give you the money ahead of time, maybe a little in advance so you can do the touring and everything. But again, they want the money back. But you guys own all your rights, Mike, to all your publishing and your songs and stuff like that. I know a lot of artists are trying to buy back their stuff. A lot of bands signed without really understanding what the hell they were signing. Any issues like that for you guys?
We signed a good contract, and back in the 80s, to sign a contract, you had to split publishing with the record company. That was just the way it was done. Even Michael Jackson did that. Our manager got us the same contract, or a very similar contract, to people like Michael Jackson, which is good because he was on Columbia too. Record deals have to be cut properly, and you have to really negotiate properly, and our manager did that very well, and we're glad he did. Because everything's good, it's the way it should be. And there's a percentage that goes to the record company, and then a major percentage goes to us. And, that's the way it should be. And I feel sad for groups that get ripped off like that.
Absolutely. 1984, the killer movie Footloose, you and Heart's great Ann Wilson, Almost Paradise, #1 hit in the U.S. Adult Contemporary chart. Tell me the story behind that, Mike. How did whoever put it together says, hey, I want, Mike, and what about Ann? And how did that all come about?
Well, the manager put the song in front of me, and it was written by Eric Carmen from Raspberries.
Yes, yep.
And I heard the song and I went, this is fantastic. And my manager says, you can pick whoever you want to sing this with. And he said, just get back to me. I said, I don't have to get back to you. I'll tell you right now, I'd like to sing with Ann Wilson. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but at the beginning of Heart, before they even recorded, they were living in Vancouver, British Columbia, just trying to get out of the U.S. for a while because of all the Vietnam stuff and stuff like that. So they were up here working in all the nightclubs and bars, and we used to go see them all the time. They played fantastic Led Zeppelin. I was a big fan before they even recorded, and then they started recording here at Mushroom Studios, where we cut one of our records, and it was like a magic record, and I just was, wow, this is unreal. And so when I got the opportunity to pick anyone I wanted, I didn't even have to turn the corner. I just went Ann Wilson. And luckily, we were both on tour, and we had a couple of days off, and we met in Chicago. And we basically sat down to get to know each other a little bit because we had never met. And once we were both comfortable with each other, I said to her, hey, Ann, do you know the song? And she said, yeah, I know the song. So I asked him to roll it, and we stood up, sang face-to-face into the same mic one time.
Wow. Holy crap, man. That is awesome. Great story. Have you ever toured with Heart and had the opportunity for Ann or you to go on stage and do it together during a tour?
I've tried a few times, but Ann gets very nervous when she sees me walking towards her because she knows I'm going to ask her to sing the song. But you know what I sing it with? I sing a lot of it. A lot of the time I sing it with my wife. She sings fantastic. She's a professional singer. Her name's Kathy St. Germain. And she and I have sang it over the years at benefits and special events, usually to raise money for a charity. And I'd love to sing it with Dan, and I hopefully we will get to sing it, but we've never sang it other than that one night.
Wow. What a story. Well, thank you very much for sharing. I can't wait to... I know Ann is releasing a couple of new tracks on a solo, and I'm looking forward to chatting with her and looking forward to... I think I actually asked her once before on about the great track, Almost Paradise, but I will definitely touch base with her again. I know, your band, I'm a big fan of anybody that's always giving back and taking care of charities. And I know you guys are involved or were involved with juvenile diabetes for the kids. Are you still doing that sort of thing, Mike?
Absolutely. We do something every year for them. If we can't do it in person, we find a group or a bunch of entertainers that will do it with us. And it's raised a lot of money. This once a year thing, we do it, and we've done it. I think we've done it in Toronto, we've done it in Calgary, we've done it in Vancouver a few times. I don't know if we've done it in Montreal, but it's a great event, and it usually raises millions of dollars. So over the years, we've raised $20 some odd million, which I find very rewarding.
Oh, God bless you guys to do that. Is there any outlet for us fans, or I can tell the listeners to go to help with you guys in your cause, online or anywhere on the website?
You know what? I'm sure there on the website there's something you can find. It's been something that we've done for over 20 years, so we have strong feelings about it. And our website's pretty active, interactive. You can really have fun on our website. You can watch all the videos. You can see us playing on the Dick Clark show. You can see all kinds of stuff. I mean, we go back to when we were like toothpicks, in our 20s. But that's the way it was, and it's. Thank God we have all that in our vault.
Well, I kind of follow you guys like everybody else, and I know what I thought was really cool was you let the fans pick the title for which I guess the vote was Unfinished Business back in 2014, and I thought that's pretty cool. I mean, getting the fans involved and keeping them relevant of what you guys are doing and how you're doing it, I think it's very important these days. I mean, as I mentioned before, I'm sure you're creating new music, and the music business isn't what it used to be. My radio theme is keeping new music alive on the radio, but I'm the minority, I should say. When you guys get on the stage, I mean, it's live energy. Like I said before, we know the songs, we're part of it. I mean, everybody's on their feet, and it's all good. But yeah, no, I think it's really good that you guys are work together and interact with the fans. I think it's very important, especially these days. I mean, and we live in such a visual world. Who would ever think, Mike, you're putting out videos with MTV, and today, even if you were to put out a new song, you really need to have a lyric video or something, because that could go viral,
It's interesting, Pat. We have considered, we've seen how the record business has changed completely. Used to do a record, you'd sell some records, you'd go on tour. It was like a pretty organized procedure. Nowadays, it's just so crazy. We don't know what's going to happen. If we wrote the best song, if we wrote the Hotel California of songs, I don't think it would hit the radio and be popular, because there's no place to play it anymore. Classic rock, which is a great system to play us, but songs have to be 25 years old before they'll play it. They may play it once, but they won't put it on the schedule. They won't chart it, and so it's kind of a tough deal for artists. A lot of artists cut records, but the records don't really do anything. So people just want to hear "Working for the Weekend." You could write the best song we've ever written. They just want to hear that cowbell, baby.
No, I hear you, and that's where I found my niche, is playing the new music. Like you said, obviously we have all your tracks in our rotation, but I just said I want to do something different. And honestly, Mike, I get probably 10 CDs or MP3s digitally of people, just independent and even national bands, the Cheap Tricks and folks out there that are still putting out new stuff. And I tell them, I'm playing your new stuff. And, people are in today's lockdown are so looking for that, even though from an artist standpoint, like you said, it's really weird, because you would put out the album and then you would promote it by doing a tour. And it's like a double-edged sword. Do we do it? Do we not do it? But I think more and more folks are putting it out there, At least the fans are getting something. So hopefully when you go on tour, they know that track, because if you played Working for the Weekend, Turn Me Loose, The Kid's Hot Tonight, and then you go, all right, we're going to play a new track from a new album, then everybody goes, takes a pee break or gets a beer. You know the deal. So, and you don't want to lose the momentum. So, right? Isn't it true? So it's like, you don't want to lose the momentum of the show. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword, but...
No, you're exactly right. Hey, listen, we've done it. And we do new songs. We cut an album in 2007, which I thought was one of our best albums ever. And, you couldn't give it away. And if you played the tracks, which we really enjoyed doing, the crowd just dissipates and goes and gets a beer and, goes to the bathroom. And well, this is the truth. And I laugh because you see it happen and you go, oh, man, I knew that was going to happen. And nobody's heard the track. And it's a bit disappointing, really. And I know a lot of the groups that we play with, they cut records all the time. We have some new stuff I'm working on right now. And, we're going to do it. What we've been doing is we've just been putting it on our website and letting everybody have it for free. Just listen to it, try to get into it. And then if you love it, we would play it live. So I'm singing the track this week. Paul and I've written, and it's a killer track. I hope it does well, but it probably won't be a Working for the Weekend. You know what I mean? It's a tough one to beat.
No, it absolutely. I get it, and I support you guys, and anything that I can do, new track, old track, I'm all for it. Mike, your voice sounds just like when I probably saw you back in 1981. Maybe the first time I saw you guys open for Journey down in New York City, Long Island. Your main instrument, I want to say, and I've been blessed to hang out with Paul Rogers and Glenn Hughes and Mark Slaughter and all you great vocalists. What are you doing these days to prevent any injury? How do you keep it going and sound so great these days?
I don't know. I don't do anything different, other than the fact that usually during the day, every given day, I don't talk that much. I talk softly, but I don't know if that has anything to do with it. When I sing, I am one of the lucky ones that my voice still sounds pretty good, and I'm happy about that. I'm hopefully not blowing my own horn here, but I have had the chance to hang around with some fabulous singers, Paul Rogers, Robin Zander, these guys, Jimmy Jamison. These guys are fantastic singers, and they still sound pretty good too. So I guess I'm in a little club of guys who still sound okay, which is great, because a lot of people say to me, I saw so-and-so the other night, and they sounded terrible. The guy can't sing anymore. And I kind of feel sad about that. But I don't feel sad about it for me. I just feel sad for them.
Absolutely, yeah. You go to some of the shows and you think you're going to hear what we heard in, late 70s and the 80s, but hey, we were all getting, I had jet black hair at one point, and then I got married and had a daughter, and now I got gray hair these days, but it is what it is. Paul would always say, when I got to meet Paul and hang out with Paul, Paul says, a lot of sleep, a lot of hydration, no alcohol, no smoking. He would say, I could do like, a bunch of interviews during the day, but then I can't go to the recording studio and do a track. That just doesn't work. Same thing, I want to say Mark Slaughter said the same thing. You can't be singing and talking and back and forth. It just doesn't work. But your voice sounds great. The band sounds great. 40th anniversary of Loverboy's debut album. Special limited edition vinyl out there. Mike, your first thoughts are getting back on stage in front of a live audience. It's got to be emotional.
I'm wrapped up. I'm ready to go. I got my suitcase packed already. We were trying to decide when that's going to happen, because you can't really judge it. You have to play it by what's happening in the world. You don't want to put a concert on if nobody's going to come out of the house. So you have to kind of wait for everything to calm down. But I think, by the way, Pat, this new release, the re-release of our first album is in red vinyl.
Whoa, I did see that. I wasn't going to go there I wasn't going to touch the red leather pants. I'm sure you've been asked a million times about the red leather pants and the Get Lucky album and the bandanas. And I know it's got to be, while I got you, I might as well just ask you, how uncomfortable is it wearing leather pants on stage when you got these beaming hot lights on and you're on there for 2 hours?
You know what, Pat? When we get off stage and take our pants off, the leather would be stuck to our skin, and you couldn't get it off. So we kind of looked like we had red leather pants on, even when we were standing there with no pants on.
Oh, I'm blessed today, having a great time. Mike, I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I have.
I'm having a ball, Pat. Thanks, man.
Go check it out, red vinyl on the limited edition of this great album. Go support Mike Reno and Loverboy. Go to loverboyband.com. Hit the like button on Facebook. Go check out Turn Me Loose and The Kids Hot Tonight and all their great videos, and subscribe and follow them. I am blessed. I can't wait to see you guys back on tour. Mike, thank you so much for your time. Be safe and send my best to the guys, and we want you back here in New York as soon as we can make that possible.
Thank you, Pat. It's been a pleasure, man.
All right, here, the amazing Mike Reno of the great band Loverboy on WBXO Classic Rock Radio and Pat Soundbites Unplugged Podcasts.